Torture. I never imagined that a committed Muslim would torture and persecute a fellow Muslim with unimaginable cruelty. People had told me before, but I did not believe that the mullah's persecution and torture could be so severe until I experienced it personally. The things I saw were unthinkable in their brutality. No one, except those who have experienced the bitterness of political prison in the Islamic Republic of Iran, can possibly understand the treachery of such a prison. Years later in America, I met 3 Iranians in a restaurant randomly. During our conversation, they learned in which prison I had been incarcerated. One of them, whose husband had been in the same prison, began to weep. She told us what had happened to her husband. Many prisoners desire to die as soon as possible in order to be freed from that persecution, but instead are humiliated and terrorized time and time again. One prisoner used his pajamas to hang himself from the iron frame of a little window in his cell, but the material was so old it was not strong enough to hold his weight and suffocate him. The man wept, wanting to release himself from unbearable pain, and cursed his pajamas. On the night that I was kidnapped, I was wearing my pajamas. One of my captors was beating my face and saying, "You wanted to rescue a nation from mullahs, but now rescue yourself and let us see it." While mocking me, they were pulling at my pajamas and asking me, "Who's going to sleep with your wife tonight?" Another said, "Who can sleep with her, as he's going to die? She is yours or mine. He will not be around anymore. He's going to die." For 3 days, I endured emotional and physical shock and pain. Emotional because it was unbelievable to hear and see such immoral words and attitudes from the Muslims who had introduced themselves to people as righteous and compassionate. In the hours when I was being tortured, I was taken to a cell that was really a hole in the ground used as a toilet. The first month in the prison is vital to the persecutors, forcing prisoners to confess the things they want to hear. Whenever they wanted to get rid of someone, they forced other prisoners to falsely testify against him. One day, a young man and I were taken to the torture room. He was slashed with a cable to make him falsely testify that I financially supported Mojahedin Khalq, a faction which opposed the Islamic Republic of Iran. 3 times they slashed him to the point of fainting, but each time he refused to lie against me. They became so angry and started to cut one of his ears off. Unable to bear the pain, the young man finally testified against me. His torturers left his ear on.